Hampshire took complete control of their LV County Championship match with Essex on the second day at the Aegeus Bowl, where Kyle Abbott bagged a fifer and James Vince smashed 100 off 99 balls as he closed in on becoming the first man to reach 1,000 championship runs this summer. Essex began the second morning on 55 for 2 in reply to Hampshire's 286, but after 14 runs were added by Nick Brown and James Foster, it all went horribly wrong for the visitors. Foster was the first to fall, flashing at a ball from Abbott to give Matt Coles a very good catch in the gully after making what turned out to be a top score of 36. 4 balls later, Will Smith clung onto an edge in a packed slip cordon to remove Jesse Ryder for a duck. The same score managed by Ben Folkes, who made it 3 in 10 balls for Abbott as he lost his off pole to leave with his side on 69 for 5. The one man holding Hampshire up was Brown, who'd by now moved past his previous best first-class score of 22. Like Foster, he at least made it into the 30s. It looked as if he may even carry his bat when Ryan Tenduscarter was brilliantly held low down by Vince with the score on 85 for 6. Coles got that wicket, one that was followed up in the next over as James Tomlinson finally got rid of Brown on 31, with an LBW decision rightly going in the bowler's favour. Essex were in a mess, and more so when Coles had David Masters superbly caught at short leg by Adam Wheater. Hampshire, whose close catching has been brilliant all season, could do nothing wrong. Take this remarkably acrobatic take from Michael Bates to show you just how good Hampshire are behind the wicket in particular. Such things do breed confidence. From 69 for 2, Essex slipped to 92 for 9, 7 wickets falling for 23 runs in 9.5 overs when Monty Panesar edged Tomlinson to Vince on 1. After Reece Topley and T-Mal Mills added 29 for the last wicket, Abbott bowled the former to grab his 4th wicket of the morning and a fifer for the second time this season and for the 13th time in his career. He now has 32 championship wickets to his name this summer. So, with Essex all out for 121 and trailing by 165, a follow-on could have been enforced, but Jimmy Adams decided to bat again, only to see Michael Carberry whip a short ball from Topley to Ravi Bopara. After bowling well in the first innings, Bopara was on much earlier this time, and he ensured that Adams fell cheaply for the second time in 2 days, with an edge back onto his own stumps. That left Hampshire on 24 for 2, and 10 wickets had fallen in just 40 overs on this day. Hampshire's tally of extras in the first innings of 41 was 5 more than Essex's top score in their innings, and making a sizable contribution had not been easy for any batsman up until this point. That was until Vince, the championship's leading run scorer, came in and played a wonderful innings. He started this season in such magnificent form that a recent run of non-50s has been a little surprising. If anything, this was most probably his best not yet, in what has been a sensational season for a man who's still only 23 years of age. He appeared to be playing a different game than everyone else as he raced to a half-century, the first of the match by anyone, off 55 balls. His tally of 4s this championship summer moved on to 136 as he got to his 50 with his 11th boundary. If you add the amount of boundaries he's hit in the T20, Vince had now scored 708 runs this year in 4s and 6s alone, and he was about to add many more to that. Another 28 runs came in 4s as he struck another 7 in his second 50, which arrived off only 44 deliveries. This was batting at its very best from a very talented player who's at the top of his game at the moment. Having said that, at 23 he should get better, which may worry a few county attacks in the years to come. Smith at the non-striker's end had the best seat in the house. He was just happy to hold up his end, playing his natural game to allow Vince to take over. And take over he did as he backed up his captain's decision not to enforce the follow-on. Already less than 2 days in, Essex were being batted well and truly out of this contest, and Vince's innings moved to a rate of a run a ball. An unassuming character, he did show a brief moment of delight as he set off for the first of a 3, which took him to his 3rd championship 100 of the season off just 99 deliveries. He used 17 of those to get off the mark. 18 fours have been included in an innings which was a joy to watch and totally at odds with everything else that had gone on earlier on in the day. It was simply superb. Smith, who was in 4 overs earlier than his partner, then reached his half-century 7 overs later. It took him 17 more balls to get to than Vince had needed for his century, 116 in total, but it was still a very good knock and a very important one for his team. Vince had moved on to 132, passing Essex's entire first innings total in just 119 balls, and he'd taken his tally of championship runs for the season to 938, when his excellence was halted by the light with a total on 218 for 2. The players did get back on, and there was enough time for Vince to make it to his outstanding 150. He'd used up just 141 balls for it, his boundary tally now at 20 for the innings, and his runs from 4s and 6s in both competitions this year, moving on to 744. He doesn't expend too much energy while batting. This was a forgettable day for Foster and his men. Whether the pitch had suddenly flattened out, only they will know, but even if it had, you can't take anything away from Vince and his partner Smith. He added a couple more boundaries before the close to take this stand to 240, the runs coming off 48 overs of domination. So Hampshire are looking very well placed to win for a 4th time this season to increase the gap between themselves and the chasing pack. They'll go again on day 3 on 264 for 2 with a huge lead already of 429 runs. There should be time for Vince to better the 180 as his best ever score and to even add the 40 runs he needs to become the first man to 1,000 championship runs this year. He'll go again on 154 with Smith on 78.